Howdy, howdy, and welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast where we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. We're excited to bring you our latest episode. If you enjoy the podcast, please spread the word to your friends. In episode 34, season 2, today we are going to tackle the Rookie of the Year. Who should it go to? So it's the Rookie of the Year candidates show. Well, we've had some really awesome rookies this year, and a lot of second-year players stepping up as well. But, you know, looking at the list of players that made the impact and had the eligibility, you know, it was pretty clear-cut, in my opinion. I really haven't heard or done much about this year. Some of these players are my favorite players already. And in the American League, we've got the A's' Nick Kurtz, a 22-year-old first baseman. We've got the Red Sox' Roman Anthony, 21-year-old outfielder. And we've got the A's' Jacob Wilson, 23-year-old shortstop. Now, you've heard these names all year long, right? I mean, good selection of rookies this year. But I think the main choices in the American League are definitely these three players. Now, starting with Nick Kurtz. Oh, man. Wow, this kid looks good. I mean, he's another top player from the A's. Holy crap. And Kurtz made his debut this year on April 23rd, starting at first base. And you gotta love his nickname of the Big Amish. Now, Kurtz, he fills it out, right? He's 6'5", 240, so he fits the name. And if you're wondering, he's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, big-time Amish area. Now, Kurtz has hit the road running all season, and he's been a dominant force and consistent. You know, right now he's played in 102 games. He's got a 5.1 WAR. He's had 24 doubles, a couple triples, and he's hit 30 home runs with 74 RBIs. And you know, everybody strikes out a ton these days, but I'm not too worried about his strikeout total. He's only struck out 128 times, and he's hitting .302 right now. He's got a .397 on-base percentage, a .626 slugging, and he's over 1,000. He's at 1.023 OPS right now. Even his OPS plus is at 177. So these are not rookie stats. Not at all. Who else do we have? We've got Roman Anthony. Holy crap, another good prospect from the Red Sox. Now you know why the Red Sox are doing something this year. Holy crap, they've got so many young players that have made an impact. Anthony made his debut on June 9th, and he made such an impression on the Red Sox that they freaking locked him up to a 9-year, $130.9 million contract. Kind of rare for the Red Sox to invest so much money in a rookie. Now, Anthony was drafted by the Sox in the second round of the 2022 draft out of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. And that's in Parkland, Florida. So, I mean, his salary is going to run from $457,000 this year to $30 million as a team option in 2034. I think this contract will make everyone drool by the time it's over. Now, he's played in about 71 games. He's got 18 doubles, 8 home runs, 32 RBIs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or the American League, but he's injured now. And Red Sox are hurting, not having him too. He was hitting 292, but I think what he did is, it's hard coming up in the American League East. I mean, guys, I don't care. That's still the toughest division in baseball. I mean, you're looking at a team like the Orioles this year, who now are only 9 or 8 games under 500. They started out like shit, but that's the last place team. We're not talking about a team like the Pirates or the White Sox or one of these other divisions where they're 104 games out of first place already, like the Rockies. It's a tough division to bring up rookies. Now, the other entry into this Rookie of the Year award is Jacob Wilson. Wow. And I tell you, Jacob Wilson, he looks like that old-time prospect as he came up hitting from the start. Wilson made the earliest debut of all 3 candidates because he debuted last July 19th. And at 22, he only played 28 games last year, so he retained his Rookie of the Year status for 2025. Wilson was selected by the A's, another first-round candidate in the 2023 draft from Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. I know, you recognize that name, right? It's a powerhouse of ball players. Sarcasm, just, if you don't get it. Now, he's played, let's see, he's played about 110, 111 games right now, and he's got some pop. He's got 21 doubles, 12 homers. He's come through for 56 RBIs. He's regularly in the lineup. He's batting .319. He's right on top of Judge's ass for the leader in the American League. So it's pretty impressive. He's got an OPS plus of 123 and an OPS of 810. Now, comparing all 3, to me, it's pretty obvious who should win the Rookie of the Year award. It's a no-brainer. It's Nick Kurtz. And he leads in everything practically, all the offensive dominant stats. Jacob Wilson has him in plate appearances and hits and batting average. But, right now, even Nick Kurtz is hitting .302. And, I find it a no-brainer. So, wait a minute now. Take a moment and think about what we're talking about here. The A's have 2 candidates for this award. Now, it's hard enough to promote a rookie to the majors and have them make an impact to improve your team. And Nick Kurtz enjoyed a season-high 14-game hitting streak, July 10th through 28th, during which he had a career game on July 25th versus the Houston Astros. Do you guys remember hearing about this? He went 6 for 6 with 6 runs scored, a double, hitting 4 home runs with 8 RBIs and a 15-3 rout of the Astros. Now, that is how you introduce yourself to the league. Holy shit. Now, Nick has also hit as high as .315 with his average this year. So the A's have added both Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson to an already young and powerful lineup. If the A's ownership was not such a farce and a friggin' gypsy scam, we would say that they could be a powerhouse in practice. We have touched on this before, but seriously, let's take a look at the starting lineup of the A's. They're putting out there Shea Langoliers, the catcher. He's a whopping 27 years old. Brent Rooker, He's either playing DH or right field. He's 30 years old. Nick Kurtz, like we just said, playing first base at 22 years old. Colby Thomas, another name, right fielder. He made his rookie debut this past June 30th. He's only 24. Jacob Wilson, like we said, at shortstop, he's 23. Tyler Soderstrom plays left field, he's 23. David Hernandez at third base is 24. Lawrence Butler, the center fielder, is 25. And Zach Geloff, the second baseman, he's 25. Are you kidding me? Brent Rooker is the old man of this lineup? Holy crap. Now, if their front office only gave a shit, why don't they lock up some of these guys? You know, the past 3 years, Brent Rooker has definitely shown he's the star of this team. It's his third year with the A's, and they picked him up through waivers from the Kansas City Royals back in November of 2022. Now, can you imagine that? You know, as much problems as the Royals are freaking having this year hitting, and they waived Brent Rooker in 2022. He could be playing right field for them. Now, the A's got smart, and they signed Rooker to a 5-year, $60 million contract that runs until 2029. Now, they need to tie up these other guys. No doubt about that. What other team in Major League Baseball can say they have 3 out of 9 players in their starting lineup who are rookies that are helping the team? I don't mean a tanking team like like Washington. The Major League Baseball average age for a roster is about 29. Yet the A's regular starting lineup has an average age of 22. Just digest that a bit. Okay, I know I'm off topic a bit, but, I wish the A's were not the embarrassment of the league. I wish they had the dedication and desire, and I mean the front office, to create a team that fans could be proud of. Oh, wait, fans? Yeah, I know what you're saying. After years of being screwed, how do they even have fans? You would think that, they'd be gearing up to move into their new stadium in Vegas. Now, the A's had a groundbreaking ceremony on June 24th of this year. But we all know that was total bullshit. Once again, I like this team and its players. I find it hard to believe John Fisher gives a shit or why Major League Baseball lets him get away with this. It's a shame with all the exciting young players that they have. All right, I know, like I said, I got off track. Let's get back to the Rookie of the Year in the National League. Now, the National League was quite different, I thought. And for a change, I only had one position player. And that was the Braves catcher, Drake Baldwin, who's 24 years old. Now, I also had the Cubs right-hand pitcher, Cade Horton. He was 24 years old making his debut. And then we have the Brewers right-hand pitcher, Jacob Mizorowski, at 23 years old. Now, with Drake Baldwin was highly projected by the Braves this year. I heard so much about Drake Baldwin, He was selected in the third round of the 2022 draft from Missouri State University. He shot through the Braves minor leagues, hitting at every level. He made his Major League Baseball debut on March 27th, 2025. So he was one of the few that was on the team out of spring training. And as we're looking at his stats right now, he's already played 109 games, and he's either DHing or catching. For most of this year, the Braves have been putting 2 catchers in the lineup at the same time. two of their only catches. So, quite ballsy, really, because if somebody got hurt, they'd lose that guy in that position. But, he's had 15 home runs, 64 RBIs. He smacked about 13 doubles. He's hitting 270. He's got a nice on-base percentage of 340, an OPS of 778, and an OPS plus of 118. And don't forget, he's a catcher, Catcher. Big difference. Alrighty? Now, Cade Horton. He's been a pleasant surprise for the Cubs this year. And he was promoted and made his major league debut on May 10th. So the Cubs selected him in the first round of the 2022 draft. But I'm sorry to say, the problem I see with Horton is the problem throughout the league. Since his debut, Cade Horton has struggled getting past the fifth inning. He's made one start, and that was back on July 3rd, where he threw 7 innings, giving up only 5 hits, no runs, and 5 Ks. And that was his best start of the year for what factor? That he threw 7 innings. But Horton continues to struggle with the lack of innings and too many pitches. Perhaps it's something to improve on next year, but he made a great impact for the Cubs this year, and they needed him when he came up. So as he's sitting right now, he's at 10-4. He's got a 2.70 ERA. He's been in 21 games with 20 starts. He's already pitched 110 innings, and like I said, it could be even better than that. So he's had a nice rookie season. Now, Jacob Misiorowski. Wow, he's fit nicely into the Brewers' rotation. Selected in the second round of the 2022 draft from Crowder College in Missouri, he made his debut on June 12th. The Miz, as he is called, has really had some inconsistent results. And that's since being promoted. He, too, has struggled getting past 5 innings as well. His last start on September 7th against the Pirates was his best start of the year, as he also went 7 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 8 Ks in a 10-2 win. The Brewers can only hope for more of this next year. So I found it interesting that 2 pitchers and a position player were vying for the Rookie of the Year. And I don't know, to me, that guarantees the result. It's not enough dominant pitching to win the Rookie of the Year in my book. Drake Baldwin is the easy winner in the National League. His defining game came on August 7th, 2025 of this year versus the Marlins. Drake went 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored, and he hit 2 home runs with 5 RBI. His average was peaking at about 287 at that point. And he's been such a clutch hitter and very capable catcher that rumors have had the Braves possibly parting ways with Sean Murphy this offseason. So that's something to watch if they do indeed move Sean Murphy. Now, we've had some honorable mentions. Kyle Teal of the White Sox, Will Warren of the New York Yankees, Isaac Collins of the Brewers, Augustin Ramirez of the Marlins, Carlos how do you say his name? Narvaez of the Red Sox, Chad Patrick of the Brewers, Khalib Durbin of the Brewers. Now, I find it funny. There's a couple names here that kind of stick out. The Brewers' Augustin Ramirez, the Carlos Narvaez of the Red Sox, and the Brewers' Caleb Durbin. They're all ex-Yankees. And as a matter of fact, 2 of those guys are catchers. Yankees had so many freaking catches this year, and they needed to get rid of them because of roster constraints and stuff like that. So wow, they really controlled the catching positioning in the minor leagues. I did not realize it was as wild as that. So those are my honorable mentions for the year. And I think this is a wrap for today. Thank you for joining us for the 34th episode of Season 2 of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Our regular schedule for new episodes is every Friday, with each episode lasting approximately 20 minutes. We appreciate your support and encourage you to share the podcast with your friends and make a comment, guys. It's late in the season. I'm trying to avoid the topics that you would see on MLB Network and seeing the local papers and stuff. So I'm always striving to do something a little different, or the timing of it. And if you got any suggestions, send me a freaking comment. Don't be shy. So our next episode will be on Friday, September 19th. We look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.